So today we are talking about Bitcoin, how it came up to be, its origin, and types of wallets. So to understand Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a digital representation of money. So Bitcoin is a token, it's a decentralized token that lives on the internet, which means it's not owned by a single entity. No one person can say I own BTC because it lives on the internet, which is, to be more specific, it lives on the blockchain, which is basically lives on the internet. So to understand what really a I'm already talking about blockchain. I will be creating a separate video talking about blockchain more, to go more into the in-depth. So today we'll be talking about Bitcoin. That's the Bitcoin client. So to understand and give more context to Bitcoin, let's go back a little bit into time. That's, we are going back using the time machine. So let's go back to the early 1960s. In the early 1960s, there was a project called ARPANET, which was created by the US Department. So it was a project that was aiming to create a system whereby, in terms of nuclear attacks, we could still find a secured way to communicate, around the world. So in the 1960s, the ARPANET project laid the first building block, which is the IP protocol. For the technical people who would want more in-depth, just let me know in the comment box. Maybe I might, or maybe you can go and check it out on the internet. So after the 1960s, then we moved into the early 1970s. After that first building block by the ARPANET, then we got into the birth of Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail. That was the birth in the early 1970s. So then we moving into the early 1980s. That was where cryptography took its global presence. Basically, we could say cryptography has been around for ancient of times, but early in the 1980s, that was when it really took that, you would say, the global dominance, where people started noticing it more. But when you talk about cryptography, what really is cryptography? I'll just touch a little bit on it, and we'll also create a whole separate video for that. So cryptography is an encrypted language, which is used to secure information. It becomes very difficult for you to actually decipher it. So when we talk about cryptography goes into way back into the time of even Rome, Greece, to ancient Kemet, now called Egypt. So that was in the early 1980s, and then fast forward from there, then we came into the early 1990s. That was where we would say the birth of internet. That was where the internet took its bull and started also to run. So in the early 1990s, that was where also gave the birth to the likes like PayPal, e-gold. In the early 1990s, we would say we were entering that age. There were attempts to start creating digital currencies. So during that time, we got something like e-gold. There were DigiCash, there were some 1 or 2 coins that came up in the early 1990s. And their attempt was to create a digital representation of money, so a digital cash to use. But failure attempts, they weren't really that consistent with it, so we would say it failed off. Then fast forward into the early 2000s, after the 2008 crisis which happened in America, which we don't want to talk about that, for just to give some context. So fast forward from there, and then early in the year 2009, it somehow looks like a coincidence or something, I don't know, but I'm gonna leave it up to you. After that 2008 crisis, fast forward into the year 2009, and that was the inception of BTC, which was first a white paper was actually released by a man or a group of people called Satoshi Nakamoto. So the first white paper was brought forth on how BTC is going to how BTC works. And when we talk about BTC, existing protocols that was used to write the BTC protocol cannot be changed. It cannot be rewritten. So it more takes the concept of smart contracts. So when you say smart contracts are a sort of a programmable language whereby it uses a concept of if and then. So to make it more, easier to grasp. So let's say we are working in a company. So as we are working in a company, employees, so we have employees. I could use a programming language which is like a smart contract to maybe write a language whereby it says, if you the viewer that's watching this video, maybe we do have our own ID cards that we use to work within our company. So maybe if you should scan this ID into your maybe our system, maybe an amount of money should be transferred, which might be your salary. So the smart contract is if then supply it. So just like I was saying, so if then it's using this concept. So that's how BTC has a sort of predefined rules that's already been written. So it's not like the centralized system whereby we can change the rules anytime that we choose to. That's basically something that really does happen in the centralized system. So that's where it opens the door for fraud and censorship, whereby your assets can be seized in the centralized system. But with BTC, by this determined rules, you can't actually beat the system because it uses cryptography, and that I already said we are going to be talking about that in a separate video to go more in depth. So by this smart contract, BTC is connected onto the internet. It has no centralized authority. So basically, my phone, your phone, other computers all around the world, they're all connected. 1990s was also where the internet was created, and the internet being created also then paved and gave birth to BTC. So I can say the internet gave birth to BTC. So in the simple and the basic sense, we can say that BTC is like the internet because it lives on the internet. And just as the internet is, who owns the internet? If you can let me know who owns the internet. If you do know who actually owns the internet, drop it in the comment box or let me know. Like, so maybe I could send you some BTC or something. I'm just joking. But if you do know, let me know. Who actually owns the internet. That's exactly how BTC is. BTC is not owned by a central authority. It lives. And when we talk about BTC, so BTC being a digital money, someone will be curious to ask, so if it's digital money, then where actually is my money? Where is your money? Your money is living on the blockchain, and the blockchain is a decentralized network. We have a word called DLT. That's the distributed ledger technology. So the blockchain is a ledger that stores transactions data. So in the likes of BTC, I can give you my wallet address number, and you can go and paste it in maybe a Bitcoin block explorer or something. It can show you all the transactions that have occurred in my wallet over a long period of time. You would see it all. So it sort of creates this system whereby we can now transact and keep records of all the transactions. Unlike fiat cash, how traceable can you trace fiat cash? As much as we know, it circulates around. But with the tracking aspect of BTC, another layer of anonymity, whereby your identity is protected, so they don't really know who is actually behind. It doesn't require your personal information like how these centralized systems work, whereby we are going to ask for your passport picture, driver's license, and all those addresses and other procedures that has to do with it. So BTC is a global asset. Technically, it's a global asset that's not owned by a single entity, and BTC are stored on wallets. So Wallets are a way for you to interact with your currencies, which is living on the blockchain. So to make this analogy more interesting, you see, let's take the likes of Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, where you're watching this video. If you've ever posted a picture or a video on YouTube, where's your video? Where actually does your video live? As soon as you upload it, it's no longer, you could delete it on your phone and you can still get access to it. And even if you don't delete the video off your phone, it's still not on your phone. As soon as you upload it into YouTube or TikTok that you are watching this video, even this video that you are watching, as by the time you're watching this video, it's no longer on my phone. Yeah, I've probably deleted it and created a new video, but you'll be seeing it. So where is it? It's actually living on the clouds. That's the internet. So you can log in into your TikTok anytime and search for Web3 with Kojoland, and you still come and see this content. So think of your money like something like that. So now your money has been taken and then uploaded onto the clouds, which is like how you post your pictures on the ground, social media like Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, basically how you do all your things. So now your money has now been uploaded onto the clouds, but on the clouds, a secured system has been created, which is the blockchain, that makes sure to track every transaction that occurs on the internet, basically on the clouds. Just like how when we take the likes of the YouTube, as I upload my videos, we have an algorithm, you know, that tracks to see what videos are likely to trend. Then it picks them and projects them. So to keep records, that's how it makes it very easy for you to search for someone, because the system tracks all the names that has been provided. So your wallet address can also be said to be your name, basically, just like your username that you are using on Instagram and TikTok. So your wallet address can be said to be your name. That is going to be used to identify your wallet on the internet. So the wallet is your account, and when we come to that account, we can see what you have been doing with your wallet address. Have you been transacting? And that's where it also brings in NFTs, because with these wallets now, the NFTs now can now be a sort of a social media whereby you can show off your art collections. If you're an artist who creates, or maybe you're a business who want to show off your tokens like real estate, you know, those are also a separate video. I already made videos about NFTs, so you should go and check it out. And if you'd also want me to create a more in-depth topic about NFTs, also make sure to let me know in the comment box. But today we are talking about BTC. So your wallet address is just like your social media, as I was saying, that's going to be used to identify. And BTC is also very fast, very secure. It gives you access whereby only you have access to your funds. So that's where wallets come inside. When you say wallets, what are wallets? So wallets actually, you know, we would say places where you store your key, your private keys. That gives you access to your funds, which lives on the clouds. So when you talk about the wallets, think about the wallets as the TikTok apps itself. You see the TikTok apps and the social media apps that we've been using. Think of it as a wallet. So it's now being a wallet. When you tap on it and you enter into, you know, that system whereby the UI, you get a sort of the user interface that then connects you to the cloud as a server, which gives you access to the videos. So with these wallets, so wallets are where your private keys are stored, and your private keys is what gives you access to be able to access your funds. So when someone gets access to your private keys, it's easy for them to get access to your funds. Just as if I get access to your Gmail address and your password, I've gotten access to your account, where I can do whatever I want to do. It's the same as with your wallet. So the wallet is more like a dashboard that shows the money that you have in your wallet. So maybe if I have maybe $30,000 worth of BTC, maybe which is Ethereum, maybe $50,000, it will be shown on a dashboard. And the dashboard are just numbers. Basically, they are just numbers. The money is not actually on your phone, it's on the clouds, which is the blockchain. And the blockchain lives on the internet. So in the basic sense, Bitcoin is the digital representation of money that lives on the internet. So you see, there was a time we are using cash, but to some extent, cash sort of has its limitations, because in terms of maybe how do I say it, cash, the speed, its durability. You see, we are moving into this age whereby we are now moving into digital transaction, because on an average, as you're watching this video, you are basically paying most of your transactions on the internet. Yeah, like Amazon, Alibaba, even those who you watch Netflix. You actually now, most of our transactions now are now moving on to the internet. Even when we go to the markets here in Ghana, in Africa, our market women embracing mobile money. So you see, it's very fast. You don't have to be counting the money plenty. You just a couple of numbers and it just becomes very easy, in and out. So money just goes in and out, almost like the speed of light. So that's basically what BTC is, making money to move at the speed of light. So these wallets gives you access, and your actual money is actually living on the blockchain. The blockchain is a distributed ledger technology. There are different types of blockchain. We have the Ethereum blockchain, the Solana blockchain. We do have private blockchains. It's also a whole separate video on its own, and I think, yeah, you should go check it out. I created a video previously talking about blockchain, so you should go and check it out. And if you have any question too concerning that, you drop it in the comment box. So when you talk about the wallets, there are many types of wallets. We have desktop wallets, we have hardware wallets, we have cold storage wallets, and we have paper wallets. The paper wallet is very interesting, but you get that in a matter of time. So let's talk about the desktop wallets. So the desktop wallets are the wallets by hearing the name, which is for desktops. So something like the MetaMask. MetaMask is also a desktop wallet and also a mobile wallet. So you can have it on your desktop and you can have it on your mobile. But there are some wallets that you don't really have its desktop wallets, it's just a mobile wallet. So from the desktop wallets, that's where you have the mobile wallet. That's where we get the we say the lightning. That's where the likes of Coinbase, Bybit, all these are wallets. Bybit can also be said is an exchange. So let's take Bybit out. If you don't know what exchanges are, I've already created videos about it, so you should definitely go and check it out. So these wallets are the mobile wallets. Then we have the cold storage. So the cold storage are the wallets that gives you access to store your BTC offline. When I say offline, you're able to download, just like how you're able to download a picture off the internet, that you can look at it anytime you want on your phone. But this time with the cold storage wallets, it's a device that allows you to download your BTC off the internet, which is your private keys, that gives you access. So the private keys is what gives you access to your funds. So it downloads it and stores it on a device, on a hard storage device, that you can store it in wherever that you choose to want to save it, depending on your preference. So if you are looking to buy BTC for the first time and you don't know where to go and get BTC, make sure to go and look for a wallet. And there are many types of wallets, so make sure to do your research and make sure the wallets that you do use is very popular, is very well known, it has good reviews. You have to really do your research. It's very, very important that you know of the wallets that you are using. So then we have the paper wallets. The paper wallet is very interesting. The opportunity whereby you can store your private keys on a paper. So basically we would say your BTC is living on a paper. I don't have a sheet of paper here, because if I had, I could have, just used a sheet of paper. So you download your private keys, then it's printed onto a paper with a scan code, a scan barcode, that when you want to get access to your funds, you will scan it. So with all these wallets that I just said, they all have their pros and their cons. In terms of the desktop wallet, one thing we could say is your laptop could get hacked, and hackers could get access to your funds, just as like with the mobile wallet. That are some of the disadvantages, that are some of the cons. But the process is, with the mobile wallet, it's very convenient, it's very easy. You can be walking around and be having about $2-3 billion on your phone, and no one would even know unless you want them to know. You understand me? So it gives you this level of security, mobility, where wherever in the world that you go, you can access your funds. Because if I'm holding BTC, maybe I own a couple of BTC, and I start traveling around the world, wherever that I go, I know it's going to be very easy for me to get access to money, because regardless of where I find myself in, all I got to do is maybe sell the BTC and get fiat cash. So to sell the BTC and get fiat cash, when I'm in this country, maybe I'm using a Visa card, all I just got to do is just sell the BTC and withdraw into my bank and just take out the fiat cash, then transact. Because we would say the BTC is going to be more for digital transactions. BTC is no more digital transactions. As much as we are moving into the cashless society, looking at the current world that we are in now and analyzing it. So from the 2009, that BTC was created, and then it then paved the way and gave birth to other coins. So other coins like Ethereum, Solana, just like I already said, Matic, and these coins we mostly call them the altcoins. These are all coins. We say digital representation of money. So we are now entering that age whereby, just like we have dollar, CD, CFA, euro, dinar, all these currencies, we are also now moving into that age whereby, just like we have ETH, BTC, XRP, Solana, Cardano. You see, there are a lot of coins. There are a lot of coins. ETH, Uniswap, all these coins. We could be saying it's also like how these countries each have their own currencies. So we are moving into the digital age, and these wallets then give you access to get access to all these funds, because your private key then gives you access, just like your login password gives you access to your accounts to post and upload, just as you do with the paper wallet. The paper wallet, what do I see? You have to be very careful if you should choose to use the paper wallet, because as much as your BTC lives on the paper, if the paper should get destroyed, you've lost access to your BTC. So mostly, if you're going to be using the paper wallet is also, in terms of security, it's top notch, because it just takes your private keys totally off the internet. So there's no way hackers can actually get access. The only way they can get access is when they get their hands on the very physical paper. I'm saying cash, the very physical paper that you're going to be using, which is on it, and the scan code, and that they will scan, or maybe it gets destroyed. So mostly, if you're going to be using this sort of paper wallet, I would recommend maybe you have a secure safe where you can go and put in a place where, basically a dry and cool place whereby it won't get destroyed. And the hardware wallet also allows you to download your keys off the internet. It's a device, yes. And we have ledger, Tezos or something, one or two. We also have types of ledgers, which if you are someone who should choose to go and use that, you can also go and check it out. So Basically, that's what it is. BTC is a digital representation of money, and it's the money that's going to be there for the next coming future, that's which is ahead of us, because the Chinese already have their yuan and America is already battling, because as we are moving into a new order, yeah, you will say the changing world order, we are moving into a new order where things are changing. There was a time, looking at history, whereby Great Britain was the most powerful nation in the world. Even back into the transatlantic slave trade, you could see, yes, those times the Great Britain was dominant. That was the giants among the nations. And then fast forward from the World War, you know, I would say, is it from the World War II, you know, what went on, Germany and Britain, there are a lot of things, the war, it's, you know, a lot of things went in. So we could say at that time British almost got bankrupt, so they had to tend to look to America to see. And from that time, America then took over. Then America's empire, it's not even an empire, you know, America also started then taking off. That was then in the 1970s. So you get to see early in the 1970s, that was the birth of the UN, bringing forth the IMF, all these existing financial institution infrastructures that's actually taking control of this existing system, because you all do know of IMF, these dominant financial infrastructures that rules the world now, basically, because that's what runs the world now. Started in the early 1970s, which is like just as in the early 1980s with the ARPANET. So you see, you get to see that was where the digital age was being bridged, and America from that time also became very dominant for a while. And now looking at the order now, China looks like the next rising giant, who is like, China is pretty aggressive. Looking at their GDP growth, the GDP growth is the gross domestic product. So that's where it checks the health, the the goods and services of the country. So less importation, and how they are growing in terms of education, in terms of health, in terms of infrastructure, how they are constantly growing. And looking at the pace that's now China is growing, looking at their mega cities, China is now looking like the next market hub, because there was a time America was very far advanced in terms of infrastructure. So when you go to that places like New York, you look at the infrastructures, you get to see the roads, the urbanization. It attracted more markets, because if there aren't enough infrastructures and movements, to more room for the market to grow. And looking at China is now growing at a pace, and now looking at its relationship with Russia, the BRICS, there are a lot of things happening now. Looking at the world now we live in now, the money that we know of today is now changing. Money is changing. The future of money is changing, and we really got to be ahead of this curve, steady, and try and also understand and secure wealth, because this is going to be one of the greatest shifts of wealth in history. Because this next cycle, as the next cycle that we are entering, is going to be the next cycle that is going to be there for at least the next 100 years. If you understand what I mean, the next 100 years. So this where innovative technologies are now bursting in, artificial intelligence, which we are all aware of. It's crazy. NFTs, where now NFTs allow us to tokenize even our houses, whereby I can actually prove ownership of my house on the internet, which is going to be verified on the blockchain. I can tokenize my car. A creator can tokenize his art. So now you don't actually need a betweener. You can actually put it on the cloud, just like how you upload your pictures and you get more likes. You know, there are some viewers who are going to see it, and those who are going to get interested are going to make a purchase. So we are moving into a digital age. So basically, when you talk about BTC, this is what BTC is. If you have any question or you don't really understanding it, then please just drop it in the comment box. Let me know, and if you have any value that you would want to add into this content, feel free to drop it in the comment box. I'm here for you just as you are here for me. And in the next videos, maybe I would like to be talking about the Byzantine Xenos problem, whereby we go into the in-depth, more into the technical evaluation. Let's say we analyzing what really makes BTC BTC. How can we even compare BTC to gold in terms of its value? You know, we will go more into that, because you know, I do always say this: BTC is a digital representation of gold. You know, in the next video, that's where I'll be talking about the Byzantine Xenos problem, how BTC works, how its security mechanism works, why, you know, BTC is likely to be the next future of money. So make sure to subscribe, follow, to stay ahead of the curve, because I'll be creating more videos like this. And you know, just feel free to DM me or something if you have any sort of value to me to help you with in terms of finance. You know, I'm not a financial advisor, but any value that you could be, or any value that you out there you also wanting to connect and also bring some sort of value, feel free to also shoot me a DM. I'm open. Peace out. I love Africa, I love Ghana, I love all humans, I love the world. And also try and be in nature. Peace out.